Hello everyone, welcome to our test planning and execution presentation for the Udemy sign-up process. My name is Elif and I will guide you through the first part of this document, which includes the introduction, scope and test design for the email address field. Later, Eren will continue with the password field, and finally Ömer will cover the remaining features, followed by our test case summary. So let's begin. The goal is to ensure the user registration flow, which is full name, email, password, etc., meets the specified requirements. We will verify functional, security, and usability aspects of the Udemy sign-up form. This includes email input, password input, name input, and submit button. Features to be tested, it's a brief overview. Email address field, password field, sign-up button, and checkbox for promotional emails. Username field, those are the features to be tested, and features not to be tested are forgotten password functionality, backend logic, performance testing, and the other things. As an approach, we will use functional UI compatibility and basic security checks as the testing techniques. Execution of all test cases, resolution of critical defects is completion criteria, and the constraints are time and device availability. The pass and fail criteria is shown down below. Suspension criteria and resumption is also written on there. Test deliverables are test plan document, test design specification, test cases and scenarios, test execution log, and finally test summary report. And those are the tasks. And environmental needs come in 3: hardware, software, and test tools. And responsibilities are also in the presentation. And there is staffing and training needs, and schedule, risks and contingencies. There are 4 risks. The first one is delay in development. It impacts the testing schedule as expected. The second risk is lack of available testing devices. Third risk is that the testers lack experience with the chosen defect tracking system. And the last risk is network failures during the testing. Okay, email addresses field. In this one, we will test validation of email formats, handling of previously registered emails, maximum character limits, and error messages. Now, I will go over the test cases for the email addresses field. Test case number 1, we are validating basic email formats and ensuring valid emails are accepted, like user@gmail.com and the other one. The expected result is the system accepts valid formats and no error appears. This test passes and has a high priority level. Test case number 2, entering a previously registered email. We will verify the system shows an error if the email is already in use, and expected results will be the system displaying already in use message and stop the submission. And this test is passed and has a high priority level. Test case number 3, rejection of invalid emails. We're going to ensure invalid emails are rejected, and the system displays an error message and prevents the sign-up process. This test already passed and has a high priority level. And we're on to test case number 4, verification of field length limits. We're going to check if the email field enforces character limits and rejects overly long emails. And this test is also passes and has a high priority level. And that concludes my section on the introduction, approach, and email field test cases. I will now hand it over to Eren to continue with the password field and subsequent features. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Eren. Now I will continue with feature 2, password field, along with its test cases. First the test cases, then the pass things to Ömer. Feature 2, password field, we are validating minimum length character requirements, uppercase, lowercase, digits, special characters, and whether blanks, spaces are allowed. Here are the test cases for the password field. The test case 5, we validate password strength requirements. Objective is check minimum length and character variety. The expected result is only password meeting criteria are accepted. Short or incomplete ones are rejected. This test case is passed, and the priority level is high. Test case number 6, enforce uppercase, lowercase, number, and special character. The objective is ensure the password has all required character types. The expected result is missing any type leads to an error. Correct ones are accepted. Status is fail. The system currently accepts invalid passwords too. Test case number 7, reject passwords of only spaces. The objective is spaces only passwords are invalid. The expected result, an error should appear and block submission. The status of this test case is fail. The system wrongly accepts the blank space passwords. I will discuss the next features and their test cases: the sign up button, promotional email checkbox, and the username field. The sign up button, we are ensuring the button is enabled only with valid inputs, creates an account successfully, and shows errors if mandatory fields are missing. Test case 8, button enabled only when fields are valid. The objective is the button stays disabled until all required fields are properly filled. The status is fail. The button remains clickable even with the invalid email. Test case number 9, successful account creation. The objective is the user is redirected to dashboard upon valid submission. The status is pass. The test case number 10, error messages for missing mandatory fields. The objective is form should block submission and show messages if email, password, or full name is empty. The status is pass. Test case number 11, cross-browser responsiveness. Objective is the button works consistently across the all browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Edge. The status is pass. Now I'm heading to Ömer.
Hi, I am Ömer. Now I'm gonna explain about checkbox and then conclude. Feature 4, checkbox for promotional emails. We check if users can select correctly and if the default state is correct. Test case 12, selecting checkbox. Objective is the box is unchecked by default, it can be toggled and the choice is saved. And this test case status is pass. Feature 5, username. We verified that the field accepts alphabetic names, enforces character limits, and displays errors for invalid input. Test case 13, valid and invalid full names. Objective is valid names are accepted, numbers or special characters if restricted should be rejected. Status is fail. Invalid names are still accepted. Let's wrap up with our test case. Summary is total test case is 14, passed is 10, and failed is 4. Defect trends is 1 medium level, 1 low level, and 2 high level. We have identified 4 failed test cases that require attention, particularly around password rules, space-only passwords, invalid emails still enabling the sign-up button, and accepting invalid names. These must be addressed before final deployment. Thank you all for listening to our presentation on the test plan and execution for the Udemy sign-up process. We have detailed each feature, the corresponding test cases, and the outcomes. Should you have any questions or need clarification, we will be happy to discuss them now.
Burayı keser, tamam. Sonu